Welcome back to Desperado Chess. So the last time that I recorded, it was probably, I don't know, like Tuesday of this last week. And I kind of put a promise out there that I was going to try and get to 1400 by my birthday, which is today, February 14th. So on that recording, as I was trying to pursue that goal, I fumbled around and played like 6 games, and I think came out of that with either pretty much where I was elo wise or a net loss. I think actually was down a minute, you know, in a 3-minute game multiple times. Just a horrible showing. So fast forward a few days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday, I don't play any or I don't make any net elo gains, I should say. I played like a couple games here or there. I had worked in school, I had no time, which is pretty much what I said was going to happen. And then on Friday, I get a day off, and starting at roughly 1320, proceeded to get all the way up to 1391. And this game I'm about to show you was a game that I played against a, is it Napoleon? I don't know, that's probably not right. They're from Nepal, but it says 1452. I believe this keeps track of what the ratings were. So I guess they're probably, okay, yeah, I can't tell you. But anyways, yeah, here was the game. It was a Caro Kann. And if I would have known I was playing such a high opponent, I might have aborted. I don't know. I think this is like the point to where I found out that I was doing so. So at this point, all these moves are very common. And I like whenever I see the structure in the Caro Kann because it's easy to get an easy game. Now, one thing I'll mention is whenever this pin is broken by the bishop, I always go ahead and take. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I do it because otherwise there's tactics whenever the knight moves. So, which is also a Bob Seger song. But anyways, so we're moving. He blocks this up, so I don't have tactics on this pawn anymore. You know, so he's playing very solid. He does blunder this pawn, and it gets very tricky from here because he wins a pawn back by blundering that pawn. So maybe it wasn't even a blunder, but at this point, you know, there's a lot going on. So I attack the knight and queen. Of course, the knight can take. He does. I take back. We're attacking the queen. So now, this is a check. Now, if I'm not mistaken, actually, I think with accurate play, he's probably winning here. I block here. If he would have played rook right here, I don't really know. It's because, like, I can come here. Bishop takes, I take back, and then he just wins my bishop, or I can go here and he just exploits the pin. I could maybe long castle and put my rook. Yeah, like I said, I think I just lose a piece. So he doesn't do that. He goes here, or she, whichever, and I go here. I think was probably by far the best move, guarding the knight. And from here, I think I probably have quite a bit better position because everything's just kind of, it's really set up for attacking for black here. So he goes here, I take the bishop, which I believe was probably a piece I needed to get rid of from him. And then so I could have went here, but then the queen gets in. So I went ahead and tried to break that convergence on a7. With the bishop. So we get, ooh, that was a check, so I move. Go here, I take, he takes back, upsetting his structure a bit. So at this point, I feel like I'm a bit better. I do make a pretty huge blunder at some point, yes. So right here, I just flat out blundered my rook, which is crazy because, you know, now I'm playing a rook down. So I get a pawn back. He goes here, go here. It was a check again. I go here, and then we check. And then actually right there I could have just straight up won his rook. I believe I even saw that in the game, but I had 22 seconds left at this point. I could have just straight up won his rook right there. But, you know, with 22 seconds, you're just trying to win. He's got 26. So I take here. We do this. Okay, so now we trade the queens, and I have better pawns over here, and then 2 passed pawns on this side. I don't know what the computer would evaluate this as, but I'm going to say since the rook can get in, white's probably quite a bit better, but he's also playing with low time. So I want to fast forward to roughly this move right here. So this, if I'm not mistaken, actually this move right here. From this point on, I have 5.2 seconds, and I'm pretty sure that I pre-moved every single move for the rest of this game, because I realize I have to make up a 7-second discrepancy. So all these moves were pre-moved. I blunder right here. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. Because his rook can't take right there. So no, sorry, that wasn't blunder at all. No, actually right here I blundered. So right here, he just takes, right? And then he ends up with just a rook. That's exactly how that's gonna go. So right here, I should have pushed already, but he didn't see it. And then I take, and with 0.6 seconds, I become, and I will really quickly adjust. You probably thought I had this messed up. I didn't. I did this on purpose. I will adjust back my screen. With 0.6 seconds, I got to 1401 ELO on the day before my birthday. So, now, with that being said, hooray for all that. It was pretty cool. I got like a week before to 1395 like 4 different times, so I was pretty irritated that I hadn't gotten to that rating yet. So, but anyways, so also I just want to show 2 games that I played since then. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on these. These are the 2 rapid games I played today. First was, and I will, it was, I believe, 95.7% accuracy. Now, I don't know why I got paired with a low 1600, but I did. So we play another Caro Kann. And this is all pretty normal stuff. He's trying to, win with tactics, upset my pawn structure. I don't let that happen. And from here, I just assume I'm probably a bit better because I'm more active. So all those trades that he did, the thing about, okay, so like right here. The level of thinking of beyond like 1600 or maybe even 1700 is, so from this position, you look, he has 1, 2, 3 pieces out that are attacking and covering squares. Now, through all these maneuvers that he does with all these trades, now he has 1 out and I have my queen out. So you ask yourself, was that the better play? And that's positional play. So if you didn't know what it is, now you do. So anyways, all right, so we just keep going. And I really like this move. I think it was the best move. I was planning on potentially this, but also, just getting the rook to the 5th rank. There's a lot of possibilities. So I go here because he's attacking me, but the secondary idea was this. Now, he makes this move, which I kind of figured he might do. And at the time, I was like, well, that kind of sucks because he's threatening this, right? Okay, well, I have a counterattack. Levy Rosman would call this danger levels. But yeah, it's... so the counterattack is checkmate in 1. So what's he going to do? So he goes here, okay? Well, then I go here. I'm maintaining an attack, which is not mate in 1, but it's very strong. He goes here. Now, okay, so I noticed, and like the only, I believe, inaccuracy I had in this game is I should have played g5 right here, which once I seen that, I was like, that is, yeah, I mean, that from that point on, you do like it's an easy win, in my opinion. So I didn't see that. I saw this, which is getting ready to exploit the pin. He moves his king here, which is probably a very good move. And from here, I do defend this pawn. I wasn't sure if I had time to not defend it, but I was thinking maybe I should just go ahead. He goes here. I jump the knight in the center. Now this pawn is hanging, but also he can go here and attack my rook, which is what I figured he would do. And I had planned that if he does that, and he does, I go here, which is a quiet knight move that, so as I was explaining to my girlfriend, this is the kind of move that you graduate into probably more so in like the 1700 level, because at this point, first off, you're letting the rook hang, and second off, you're not taking back. You're doing this, and you're taking the pawn because you just have to count the squares. So what does he do here? It's check. These 3 squares are inhabitable, so he can take. This is checkmate, right? Okay, so if the only square that is inhabitable if you don't take is this, and this is also checkmate. So that was a pretty cool game. And then, as I explained on this game, I played what I considered to be the best move ever, the best brilliancy I've ever played. So we played the aggressive Italian, which at this point I don't know what kind of Italian this is. This is just I'm out of the opening class or what do they call it? Chesley basically. So we just figure out something to do because we're out of our prep. All right. So at this point, I feel like was it here? Yeah, at this point, when I go here, I have a double attack on this pawn that attacks the queen. And that's very annoying, and that's a very crucial pawn to fall. So he defends it, and then that allows me to take here and upset his pawn structure. Which, to be honest with you, I think is a game like that makes me better. I'm now better. So I take here, I'm going to open things up, and then I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to play on this diagonal with my bishop at this point. That's my end goal. So I take here, we get here and open up the bishop, and then we just get the tactics rolling. I take the rook here, and then now I'm up in material. As you can see here, this is good pawn play. This is like the kind of stuff I'm just outplaying this guy, and this guy is now 1795, so I'm sure he's been 1800. Okay, now I did see this idea of bringing this king in and then trying to checkmate me. Clearly that's what he's trying to do, right? So I go here, he proceeds, and to be honest, this right here probably could have been a very good plan. But I did not allow that. I took the pawn, which seemed more natural, but and I had plenty of time here, which is frustrating. So right here, and I will let you pause to try and find this move. This is where I played what I think is probably, in my opinion, which is a very amateur one, this is probably the best brilliancy I've ever played. So let me explain a bit. What is he threatening? Well, he's threatening this. Okay, well, how do I block it? Okay, well, I can block here and get taken. Or I can block here. This bishop is a monster, right? I can block here and get taken with the bishop and take back, and then no longer have mates. But guess what? He slides behind my passer, and basically it becomes an even battle where his king is more active, and I would probably lose that game. At best, it would be equal, especially with very little time. So I thought for a long time, and I found this Brilliancy, which it said was the best move, but it didn't call it Brilliancy. So rook to f3, and to the what does Levy call it? The uninitiated. This move looks retarded. Actually, that's not a very nice move. This move looks like it doesn't make nice word. Sorry, this move doesn't look like it makes any sense. Well, it's because it's a attraction mechanism. You're drawing the king to the square that is now check whenever I promote, and now I have a queen for a bishop basically, and an extra pawn. I'm completely and utterly winning, but it took me a lot of time to find that move, and now I'm low on time. And unfortunately, for this brilliant game that I played, and this structure, I gotta say, is like so solid for black. He just, kudos to him. He really knew how to play solid. There were openings, of course. Like right here, I have no idea why I didn't play this. Like let's say, for example, let's get into no. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna play like this. He goes here. Now I could play something like this, which is checkmate. Bishop takes. That wouldn't work either. Yeah, because he actually just goes here, and then yeah, it's just it's a very solid position. I played it actually pretty well considering, and I have, like, at this point, it says 31 seconds, but I'm pretty darn sure, yeah, I get down to where this is what I remember as being at 12 seconds. And at this point, I hung my queen, but I mean, at this point, this is, probably an equal in game. If we put the analysis here, yeah, it's dead equal, but I had 6 seconds, so there's that. And unfortunately lost this game, but there you have it. I'm finally 1400 like I set out to be, which I'm, to be completely honest, surprised actually happened. And continuing toward 1800 on Rapid. So with that, we will see you next time.